How good it is, how wonderful to come together once again with beings of light, like heart, nature, and mind. To sit in the silence and sip the nectar of the stillness. And to know once again one life, one mind, one power, one presence. One eternal giving nature that lives and breathes and has its being in and through and has all of creation. It is the life, the mind, the power, the presence, and the eternal giving nature of God, the good, the indwelling, and the self-existent one that lives and breathes and has its being in and through and has all of creation. In and through and as me, the San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living, all true centers, all true seekers. Everyone gathered here today, all the live streamers, everyone in our hearts, minds, memories, and anticipations. It all flows from the divine. It all fades into God. For this truth I'm grateful, knowing that this gathering is already complete in mind. All is well, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you. I want to welcome up Crystal Brown, who's going to sing our opening song with us.
So this is actually going to be a sing-along.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know about you all, but it's been a good New Year, but it's also been like a kind of crazy New Year. So we're going to sing the classic, This Bright Light of Mine, so that we can remind ourselves that we are actual bright lights in this really fun world. Here we go. So first is This Bright Light of Mine. Here we go.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere today, everywhere today, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere today, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere today, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This bright light of mine, this bright light of mine.
Sing it like you mean it.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Whoa,
This bright light of mine.
I'm gonna let it shine. Stand up if you want to. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
One more time.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
One more time. Let it shine.
Let it shine, let it
Thank you, Crystal. Beautiful.
Actually, I was going to read this as part of my talk as well.
Fantastic.
If you want. It's reading now?
Yeah.
Yeah, read that one. Yeah. Trying to talk you into two. I understand. That makes sense.
What do you?
You're always on.
On two.
Yeah, there it is. We got you. Thank you.
Check, check. All right.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name's Lena Chavez Soria, and I'm one of the practitioners here. Welcome to San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome all the live streamers. I'm going to do a reading today. and it is by Reverend Dr. Margaret Stortz. And what I'm going to do is actually read to you from the Science of Mind magazine, and I'm going to tell you what they say, what's written about her before I do the reading for today. So she actually wrote the daily guides annually for 50 years, and we are republishing the set to honor Stortz and her contributions over the decades. So Reverend Dr. Margaret Stortz, for many of us, this is a time for new beginnings along a variety of fronts. Perhaps it is a time for the inception of new projects, or maybe it is a time for a long individual look at where we find ourselves. My hope is that these guides will provide windows and doors through which the reader may look or pass. I am using 2 references to encircle every guide. One will be from the Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes as the primary reference, and the second will be from one of Holmes's favorite authors, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Not only will we be engaging in the wisdom of Holmes, but also in Emerson's sparkling prose and luxurious poetic flair. Reverend Dr. Margaret Stortz is a longtime religious science minister and practitioner. She retired from the pulpit of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living in California and has been both chair of the International Board of Trustees and president of the United Church of Religious Science. She has 2 popular books, Essays on Everything and More Essays on Everything. So for today, Sunday, January 4th, 2026, it's titled, Making Love Work. Love is our highest word and the synonym of God. That's from Emerson's Essays. Love overcomes everything and neutralizes all that is unlike itself. That's from the Science of Mind. Much has been said about the efficacy of love, especially lately, perhaps because of upset in the world. It seems that when things are greatly unsettling, we look back to love for our surcease. Often we treat it with soggy platitudes in sad songs and stories, but love is so much more than that. Not for nothing has Ernest Holmes written that it is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth, and he is right. Nothing motivates, nothing clarifies, nothing brings a sense of urgency like the power of love, and nothing attracts like love. We could say that love is an existential template laid down within us, and that no matter what our training or culture is, we all recognize it for what it is, and if we are wisely open to guidance with a capital G, we act on it. There is a working element to love, and we can bring it into fruition every day through acts of service. If we know anything about love, we know it is the most luminous when it is shared. As spiritual, self-aware beings, part of our job, so to speak, is to bring love to bear in everything that we do. One of the most wonderful ways to do this is to serve, to help satisfy another's needs, to bring the natural healing element of love to a wounded situation. We can do this. And here's the affirmation. If you would like to repeat after me, please feel free. The divine good fulfills me.
The divine good fulfills me.
Always has, always will.
Always has, always will.
And I access it every day.
And I access it every day.
Loving is natural to me.
Loving is natural to me.
I let it have its way with me.
I
Let it have its way with me.
As I interact with others in the world.
as I interact with others in the world.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to dedicate this to Jean Gore. Today would be her birthday. And she was here for so many years as a practitioner and President Gore. And she's still here in spirit. present in everyone. This is call and response. And God is, that's the response, the infinite universe. And God is a limitless source. God is abundance for all. God is, and now we do a love is. Just open up your heart. Love is, and you'll discover that love is an inspiration divine. Love is inclusive to all. Love is. Now we just go into improv. God is. Love is. I am. You are. God is. Love is. I am. We are. Love is. God is. Thank you.
Give yourselves a better hand than that.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Appreciate yourself. I don't want the other person. I don't want to be the only one who. I don't want to be the only one in here. Am I on? Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
That feels great about themselves. I feel great about myself. Anybody else feel great about themselves besides just
Yes.
me? I'm in the great about themselves room. Did I walk into the right room? Is this the right spot to feel good about yourself? Or great about yourself? Somebody needs to feel it. Yes, indeed. Oh, Happy New You. Happy New You. It's always great. We like to begin every week with this iconic quote from Margaret Mead. Repeat after me, please. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can make a difference in the world.
Can make a difference in the world.
Indeed, that's all that ever has.
Indeed, that's all that ever has.
Yes, indeed. And we people are that small group of thoughtful and committed citizens. Citizens of what? Citizens of consciousness. Citizens of those who know and know that they are one with the infinite indwelling and self-existent one. And if we don't know that, then I'm going to borrow a phrase from my brethren here in San Francisco. We're at least questioning it. We have a suspicion that it might be so. We're willing to look around and see, what is this true? Is this true? Is this true? Man, 2026 is coming in hard. I couldn't help but, and I don't know the words of this song, but I like the concept. I talked to my mom, the Venerable Reverend E. She's 94. She got up, saw the rain, said, yeah, I think I'll stay home today. And and I'm thinking about that, what's that, Malachi 3:10, it says, prove me now herewith. Say, gather all my treasures into the storehouse, and prove me now herewith that I will not pour out a blessing from the windows of heaven, so great that you will not have room to receive it. And I'm watching this torrential rain come down, and I'm like, wow, this is the pouring out the blessings from the windows of heaven. I remember when it was such a drought, man, the reservoirs were down so low they were finding bodies been in there forever. You know, stuff they never thought anybody ever found was found. Folks were like getting nervous. I hope they can't still do DNA on that one. I don't believe I said that. But then I start thinking about pennies from heaven. I said, man, let this be my abundance. You look around in nature, there's no shortage in nature, people. And if there's no shortage in nature, there can be no shortage in me. There can be no shortage anywhere, because we're one with the infinite, indwelling, and self-existent one. And Dr. Holmes reminds us in our what we believe statement, and I'll just start from the beginning. This is, we believe in God, the indwelling and self-existent one. This one manifests itself in and through all of creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. And the part that I love the best, and I would really love some water here, please. I forgot to get some. Somebody could get me, because I'm parched. Thank you so much. The part that resonates with us for today is that the manifest universe is the body of God. Can you say that? Okay. I know I asked you to do it, and you didn't come here prepared to follow instructions, but could you put a little life into it? Just try that again. I'm not even going to prompt you. Just try it again, please. Very good. Dos más.
The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowing is all that I believe.
No, babe, we're not. And so, there's a window. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that one. But that is the next line. It is a logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of spirit. This is an intriguing idea. The manifest universe being the body of God. Are we part of the manifest universe?
Yes.
Who in here is part of the manifest universe? So if you're part of the manifest universe, what does that make you? The body of God. Kid you? Are we living like we're the body of God? See, because if I'm the body of God, I don't mind. From my past, I've known to strut from time to time. I don't do it anymore. I'm way too humble to do that. But if you're the body, if I'm the body of God, if I'm the embodiment of the indwelling and self-existent God, I'm going to have some pep in my step, yes? A little glide in my stride. I'm not afraid to go places that are fearful. Not because I'm not afraid, but because I recognize that there's something about me that's greater than the fear that I have. And I choose to acknowledge the greatness in me rather than the fear in me. They're always simultaneously present, okay? When we're afraid, courage is the antidote. Yes? As a matter of fact, fear sets up courage. It's the prelude to it. It's like, if I want to be courageous in my life, I'm going to have to push through some fear. So when fear shows up, I bristle with anticipation, because I know that on the other side of my fear is the greatness that I so desire. Yes? I strut down the street all the time. All the time. The only time I shuffle along, sometimes at home, I forget who I am. I start fooling around like the day grinds on. I just had my grandchildren. Man, 3 grandsons, 18, 14, and 10. And they wore my 72-year-old you-know-what out. And the 14-year-old is getting so strong, I can't hardly contain him anymore, and he can tell. Oh, my goodness. So I was whooped. Just feeling it right now. God is so good. I have such a blessed life. I'm so grateful to serve here. Today we're talking about the thing itself, and the outline showed up as a story about the thing itself is what we talk about every first Sunday of every year. But this is about ancestral wisdom. Ancestral wisdom. It begins with the story that I will read. Long before months were numbered, they were named for what the land was doing, for what the animals were teaching, for what the people were learning to notice together. Late winter comes. The stores of nuts are gone. Hunger sharpens attention. Hunger can do that if you've been hungry, The squirrels climb into the sugar maples and gnaw the tender twigs. They scrape the bark and the sap begins to weep. clear, watery, almost invisible. They drink what they can, and then night falls. If you wonder what I'm doing, I thought I brought spectacles up here, but maybe I didn't. So I'm going to read without them. They scrape the bark, and the sap begins to weep, clear, watery, almost invisible. They drink what they can, then night falls. The temperature drops below freezing. Water retreats. What remains is sweetness. By morning, the squirrels return and trace the same path they traveled the day before, their tongues finding the tiny crystals clinging to the bark, sugar left behind by the cold. The people notice. They watch the trees. They watch the squirrels. They watch the way the days warm just enough and the nights freeze just enough. They do not hurry it. They do not demand it. When the time is right, they place spiles into the trunks, simple openings, not wounds, and hang buckets underneath. Plink, plink, plink. Sap begins to fall. Each night, the water in the sap freezes at the top of the bucket. Each morning, the ice is lifted away. Night by night, the sap grows sweeter, not by addition, but by release. The people gather what the trees are ready to give. They boil it slowly. Steam rises. Stories are told. Patience deepens. No one part controls the process. Not the trees, not the weather, not the squirrels, not the people. Yet, sweetness appears. This season is called the Maple Sugar Moon, not because the moon makes it happen, but because the moon tells the whole community when to pay attention. It names a moment when many lives move together without instruction, without force, without separation, and into that movement. And in that movement, life reveals itself as one. In indigenous cultures, especially the natives here in America, in the Western mind, we like to think of ourselves as the crowning achievement of life and evolution. We see ourselves at the top of the food chain and that we are the most mature of the species. But in native cultures, we are the youth. We are the younglings. And we learn by paying attention to what came before us. Beloved community, I have an opening here. This first Sunday of the year tempts us to speak of new beginnings. The Science of Mind invites us to something more precise and more liberating. There is no beginning. What's that? You see, if the manifest universe is the body of God and God is eternal and God is immortal, a part of the what we believe statements is we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. Just about every wisdom teaching in the history of the world talks about an eternal soul. Anything that's been talked about by people around the planet, around the globe, throughout antiquity with such persistence has to have some truth and reality, or we wouldn't continue to tell the story in every language, in every tongue, in every culture so vibrantly. Yes? Okay, I'm going to take your word on that. But the thing about being an immortal being, and being an immortal being just means I'm one with the infinite, which is immortal. Yes? I'm not so special that I'm the only one who is, although there's a part of me that wants to believe that. I'm learning to not listen to that guy because he never knows what he's talking about. And he ruins everything. He ruins everything. You have a person in your mind that ruins everything? I'm not the only one who has one of those, right? Yeah, we learned to stop listening to that person. Where are we with this now? Yes. New beginnings. Where I'm getting at here is when we say we're immortal beings, it's easy to get that immortal soul means we do not die. But immortal means we've never been born. And this is the concept that sets us into that space that I always have been. I continue to be. My body comes and goes. The form can shape. But we continue. There's no beginning. Spirit continues. The calendar turns. But reality does not reset. Life does not start over. We love to talk about it's a new year, but it's not new. The time just keeps going. It's a cycle. It happens every year. Is there even such a thing as a year? The Gregorian calendar talks about years as if we can precisely measure. I'm not even going to get into how that got started. That's a whole nother talk. Never get out of here with that one. This is why Dr. Holmes begins our textbook not with instruction, not with methods, not with promises, but something called the thing itself. I got to admit, when I first began this philosophy, I thought this guy's got a lot of nerve calling God the thing itself, the itness of God. But then I realized in the Christian Bible, the one I was raised in, it says in the beginning, God created both male and female, created he them. In his own image created he them. Well, if the image of the divine is both male and female, then we got some pronoun issues. I can't say that everywhere. I liked it. I can say it here. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I. Before what this thing does, before the way it might work, before we learn how to use it, before we mistake continuity for beginnings, we will, because if we mistake continuity for beginnings, we turn technique into truth. We have a technique in what we do, but the technique is based on the idea that there's something eternal about all of reality, and we are one with that reality, and therefore there's something eternal about each of us, and in that eternality, we always understand that there's more to me than flesh and bone. I love this idea. There's more to me than flesh and bone. Can we say that? We all know that there's more to us than flesh and bone because somebody's looking out of our eyes and perceiving things and making meaning, and it's not flesh and it's not bone. It's alive, it's vibrant, it's making choices, it's feeling. There's more to us than flesh and bone. No beginnings. Life does not start over. Reality does not reset. It unfolds. The thing itself, the reality itself, is not an intelligent being, but intelligence. Not a power, but that intervenes, but a presence that is. This is the key point. We're not dealing with a power that intervenes or an intelligent being itself. We're talking about an intelligence within the universe itself. And if the manifest universe is the body of God, then the intelligence of the universe represents the mind of God, and that intelligence order is a representation of intelligence. We've been told this, yes? So if there's order in the universe, therefore there's intelligence in the universe. Am I in the right room here? So if there's intelligence in the universe because there's order in the universe, then I am one with this intelligence just as I am one with the body of God. So we are operating from a divine intelligence that indwells all of us all of the time. This is what the thing is. The thing is the divine or the cosmic, the collective intelligence of all of light. Not just humanity, all of creation. Remember, we're the younglings. Even in the Christian Bible, the last thing God made was who? See, everything else was already here. And there's the admonition right there. Here's the garden. Everything was already laid out for you. Everything is already laid out for us. I created this space for you. We're new here. With everything at our disposal. I can hear that old hymn from my childhood, How Great Thou Art. Recognizing that the thou that I'm speaking of is not separate from the me that I am. How great I am. The trick is to remember, yes, I'm one with God, but so is everybody else. So is everything else. That's the part that trips us up sometimes. It tripped me up because I love it. The jelly beans of consciousness is God is all there is and I'm one with God. But the supplements and the vitamin pills, the medication is everything is God expressing. Especially the stuff we don't like. There is one life, one mind. Where are we with this? Right here. One life, one mind. Indigenous wisdom does not explain reality. It names it. Am I in the right spot? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Excuse me, lost my place. Going too fast. I'm excited here. One life, one mind, undivided, impartial, everywhere present. The thing itself does not respond because there's nothing outside of it. I talk about reciprocity. Reciprocity is a law. It's done unto us as we believe. It's a reciprocal nature, but it's not responding to an individual isolated thing. It's not responding to me. It's not reacting to me. It is just what I love the line in the movie Ray, when they're asking Ray, can he do this kind of thing with the music? And Ray had that iconic line. He said, I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. God just makes it do what it do. Because God be knowing. It's not responding because there's nothing outside of it. It doesn't arrange because there's nothing to separate. It's not a God who arrives on cue. We like to talk about God's never, it's always right on time. There's a reason for that. It's a presence without interruption. That's why. That's the simplicity that Dr. Holmes asks us, that we are in this thing, and what looks like God's arrival is our surrender to the truth that's always been here. It looks like a miracle, but it's an everyday occurrence. It's only a miracle because most of the time we take it for granted and don't pay attention to it. And when we get out of our bloated nothingness and allow the divine to emerge from the depths of who and what we are, we begin to make connections and see things that always have been and continue to be. And we call them miraculous. Our miracles are every day. Each of us is a walking, talking, living, breathing miracle. Yes? It takes a divine spark to make a human being. Not just a spermatozoa and an ovum. It takes a spark. We are not separate individuals negotiating reality. We are reality individualized. One life expressing uniquely without division. This is what the thing is. It represents all of us. Think of a prism with light moving through it and all the bands of light, those we can see and those we cannot see, emanating from that prism from the same source. It's all the same thing, light. But we like some colors better than other colors. Isn't that right? We are individualized. One life expressing uniquely without division. This preserves difference without separation, responsibility without blame. Man, this is a big one here. It's a no-fault life plan. My grandson, he's looking at his toes. I talked to you about this. He's got he does have a weird foot. I'm sorry, he does. He has a weird foot. I don't blame him for questioning it. But he has enough space between his big toe and the next toe, whatever you call that one, to have another toe there. Most people don't have that. But I see it's a trait. He has it. And on the from another daughter, that son has it. He's trying to figure out whose fault is this? Who can I blame my weird feet on? He's looking at my feet like, you don't have it. So I had to show him, yeah, but I do have some weird things going on with my feet that you don't have. We can spend a lot of time asking the question, whose fault it is. But asking about whose fault it is just keeps us stuck in a dualistic mindset where we cannot move forward because we're trying to place blame, trying to place a negative meaning on something that nature is just doing. That's why the scripture tells us it rains on the just as well as the unjust. God's not tripping. God's just being. What did I just say? What does that mean? Somebody tell me. Two people. What does that mean? Anybody get that?
God's not worried about what's going on. Just experiencing all.
God's not worried about it. And if I'm one with the infinite, if I'm one with God, worrying is something I can do if I choose to. But it's just as easy for me to bless it as it is to worry about it. If I bless it, I'm bringing the creative intelligence, the divine impulse. I'm bringing the divine creation, creative energy into the problem to solve it, to bless it, to enhance it, to make it something beautiful. I'm taking the mud from the bottom of the barrel and I'm sculpting it into something beautiful. Terry Cole Whitaker wrote that beautiful book, said, "What you think about me is none of my business." I like to think that whatever you think about me, I'm using for fuel to beautify myself even grander. If you're taking the time to hate on me, it must mean I'm doing something right. I'm not going to go down to the level of hate. I'm trying to bring you to the level of love. Edward Viljoen says, if you find me on a pedestal, please come up and join me. I'm here to uplift the world. And I can do that because I'm one with the infinite. Mwata can't uplift the world. Mwata's mad as heck about everything. I'm mad at the world. I'm mad at everybody. I'm mad at the cats cooing outside my window. It's mating season, evidently. Oh, man, shut the hell up. Someone's got to work. Someone's got to sleep. But nature is not tripping on what I need to do. At some point, we learn to be still and appreciate nature. Those who study psychology, there's something called individuation, which is the formation of a coherent self. It's important to have a coherent self. But the coherent self, that idea of who I am that looks separate, happens within the oneness, not outside of the oneness. And what we are undoing specifically in our healing work is not individuality, but individualism, the part of us that believes that we are autonomous, isolated, and owed something. This is what we're upset about the most, and this is the premise of my book, No One Owes You an Apology. We have a sense of entitlement that the world is supposed to go the way we think it's supposed to go. Is that right? Yes. Am I in the right room? Yes. Does anybody else here think the world's supposed to go the way they think it's supposed to go? Yes. See, because if that wasn't true, you wouldn't be mad when it doesn't go that way. Yes? I love it. Because it doesn't go the way I want it to go, hardly ever. But I've learned to accept it as it is. And by accepting it as it is, I've learned to whatever's going on, that's the way I want it to go. Sometimes if you want to be the leader, you find out where everybody's going, and you run out ahead of them and say, follow me. Okay. My goodness, man, the oneness itself. We are one with the infinite indwelling and self-existent God. What a concept. It's something you just have to sit with. Before we even think about what we can do with that, let's just sit with the idea that right where I am and just as I am, without changing a thing, all of my wrinkles, all my flaws. I'm getting older now. I'm looking at my daddy told me about this. He tried to warn me. He said, boy, there was a time I could grab a man's hands and he would peel his skin off before he'd get away from me. Daddy, he was that dude. I never was that dude, but he was that dude. But now I'm like, I got my 14-year-old and he's breaking free. My body's doing things I don't want it to do. My mind is doing things I'm not giving it permission to do. And I'm learning to accept, you know what? This is where I am in life right now. And the powerful thing about being in the place, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm at a time in my life. I can't refuse help. I need help every day, all the time. And the part of me that was this guy who was the individual guy, the one we just took, that one, I'm separate, I'm isolated. You know, the world owes me something. I'm mad about everything. That guy, he can't stand up anymore. He has trouble getting out of bed. And so I learned to surrender when I get him, and I start saying thank you for the pain because I still have movement. Are you with me on this? I say thank you for the movement even when I'm in pain. I'm reminding myself being grateful for everything because I know that when I say thank you, I'm acknowledging that I have the strength to continue. I'm learning to be much more grateful to the delight of my dear wife. I'm just going to be honest. If you tell her I said this, I don't know if I'm going to admit it. But she used to talk about how much I take for granted, and I thought she was crazy. Oh, she's just saying that because she's trying to get me to do what she wants me to do. She don't care about what I think, blah, blah. I got all these ideas of what she's doing, how she's trying to manipulate me. I'm not falling for this. I ain't no sucker, man. But you know, I take a lot for granted. I take so much for granted. And I'm learning to recognize it. And I'm willing to accept that that's true. But now, when I see myself taking something for granted, instead of believing I'm owed it, I'm grateful that it's happening and everything that contributes to it. And in that gratitude, I let go of the need to be in control. And I recognize that, as Brother Ishmael says so eloquently, the universe goes ahead of me, preparing that which I need, even before I know that I need it. There was a garden here before the people here. We didn't know we needed a garden. We wasn't here. The whole world was already here. The universe was already here when we got here. Yes? And we can judge it, good or bad. I like to say on Mother's Day, I say this on every Mother's Day, mothers, bring your children here on Mother's Day, because I'm going to tell this every week, every time. Our parents' job is to keep us alive until we're able to keep ourselves alive. And if we're old enough to complain about the job they did, job well done. You see, they done their job. We just don't like the job they did. We're not happy with the job they did because we're not happy with ourselves. We think we're supposed to be somebody else. And here's the beautiful thing in the philosophy: I am somebody else. The problem is I'm not appreciating the somebody else that I am. Are you following me now? In a reality that is one, nothing is actually happening separately. In oneness, events are not coordinated. They are already belonging, because reality is undivided. Nothing needs to line up. Life is not moving pieces into place. It is continuously expressing itself. That's good news. Nothing needs to move into place. Nothing needs to line up. I don't have to make something happen through the force of my will. I recognize it just is. Ancestor wisdom, the maple sugar moon, indigenous wisdom, does not try to explain reality, it names it. The maple sugar moon does not mark a beginning, it marks a moment of visibility. Sap did not begin to flow, cold did not begin to freeze. Trees, squirrels, people did not suddenly cooperate. They were already participating. People, you're already participating in the miracle that is you. You're already participating in the oneness, the allness of the divine. The moon does not cause the season. It tells the whole community when to pay attention. That's what I love about this philosophy. It's one of the first things I got. My first year was that I only have one debt that I need to pay, and that's attention. That's the only thing you have to do is pay attention. As a matter of fact, if you pay attention, you get rid of all your other debts on time. I mean, that's what it tells me. The only thing we have to do is pay attention. Pay attention to what? Pay attention to the oneness. That's why it's imperative we get out into nature. Because you know you don't control nature. When you're in the woods, you know you're not in charge. Everybody who lives in the wilderness, all those, what do you call them? Mountain men, mountain people. What do they call that? What's that? Life above the Arctic and all that kind of stuff. They're not dominating the environment. They're cooperating with it. Yes? The sailor's not dominating the ocean. He cooperates with it. We want to learn how to cooperate with life. Pay attention. This is not mechanism. This is about belonging. This is about recognizing that I belong in this. We do well in the forest when we recognize we belong here. And we allow it to be a part of us. We let the trees speak to us. We let the animals speak to us. Many expressions, one field. That field is what Dr. Holmes calls the thing itself. Wow. I am that thing. I am it. If we want to talk about synchronicity or coincidence, we only do it this way. It's not something that the universe does. It is what continuity feels like when the illusion of separation loosens. That's what miracle, that's what did I say? The illusion, okay. Synchronicity or coincidence doesn't happen. What we think is a coincidence, what we think is synchronicity, what we think is some kind of a divine pattern emerging, we recognize patterns in the places where we surrender. See, God's just doing what God does. As Ray said, making it just do what it do. But what happens is there are certain places we learn how to surrender. And it doesn't matter where we surrender to the belief system that we hold. And if we believed, Einstein said that the most important question is the universe friendly? I haven't asked this one for a long time. Is the universe friendly? And based on this idea is how our lives will go. Because if the universe is neutral, then life's a crapshoot. You're just going to win some, you're going to lose some. It's the roll of the dice. If it's hostile, some of you are old enough to remember, some of you are not. I remember Friday night fights with my dad. There was the umpire or referee in the ring was Arthur McCandy. He'd always say, protect yourself at all times. And if the world is hostile, you got to protect yourself at all times. I grew up in a hostile world. I learned to protect myself at all times. And guess what? There's times I couldn't protect myself. But I was still trying to protect myself at all times because that was the mandate. But if the universe is friendly, if the universe is friendly, that means it's open and receptive to do and be what I needed to do and be. Based on our idea of this is how we experience life. If it's hostile, I'm always running into problems wherever I go. We all have the same experience on the freeway. Everybody has issues driving. We wonder how some people got their licenses, yes? But I can be mad in a moment, what the heck? And let it go, or I can be mad all the way home. I did a speaking engagement in Rhode Island, Vermont. They recruited me to be the minister out there. I'll never forget this. They told me, they said, dude, don't cut anybody off in the freeway over here. And we don't play that. We don't play that out here. So he said, man, they will follow you for miles. They will not let it go. I said, well, he said, man, people, they will follow you wherever you're going. They're going to follow you. That's how we do it out here. I didn't take that job. Because I make too many mistakes. Too many people are going to be following me. No coincidence. Just surrender. Where we surrender, we see what always is. It looks like a miracle. The miracle is always happening. Sometimes we draw back the shade and then we can see the miracle. We go, you know, the ocean's always there. It doesn't start being majestic when I visit it. It always looks that way. The birds who are there all the time, you know what's cool about the birds when you go there at sunset? When the sun goes down, even the birds find a rock and face the sun and watch it go down. They do it every day because it happens every day. The miracles happen all the time. Nothing lines up. Nothing arrives. We simply notice what's never been fragmented. The explanations belong later, resting in what is. Today offers no instruction, no assignment, and no formula. The thing itself does not require our understanding to be present. It does not become more real through our belief. It does not become more real through our belief. Our work today is simple and deeper, to rest in the recognition that we have never been outside of what we seek. What's that? I'm just saying, teacher's pet, there's always one. She's a teacher, so I'm picking on her a little bit. I say, we've never been outside of that which we seek. I cannot be outside of that which I seek. That what I'm looking for is looking for me with equal favor. That what I'm looking for, I'm looking with. I'm one with the infinite. Everything I'm looking for is an aspect of the infinite. I'm an aspect of the infinite looking for more of myself. And the way I find more of myself is I surrender the idea that I'm Waj Rasuli. a 6-foot-tall, 200-pound black man in California. That is a distinction that I am, but it's not the totality of who I am. It's an address that I show up on in the world, but it doesn't define the essence, nor the power and the majesty of me. Am I proud to be that? You know I am. Do I have fun being it? You know I do. But there's more to me than flesh and bone. There's more to me than cultural references. There's more to me than politics. There's more to me than gender identification. There's more to me than hunger and famine and all the different things going in the world. There's something about me that is infinite. There's something about each of us that is infinite. There's something about each of us that's participating in the universe even when we're not trying to. We continue to wake up and go to sleep and eat and live and love and hate. All of this is part of the oneness. All of it is part of the miracle that we are. Today, on the first Sunday of the year, each year, we talk about the thing itself. People, each of us is that thing. Each of us is a walking, talking, living representation of that thing. We are not beginning again. We are continuing to be. So we begin without beginning. There is one life continuing as all that is. And that's the life that you are. That's the life that I am. Let us settle into this. No breath to control, no intention to set, no beginning to create. Only awareness of life continuing, steady, whole, and complete. May this year unfold not from striving, not from yearning, but remembering what always been true. We remember what always has been. And so it is. I'm so grateful to be the minister here. I'm working on my book. I'm looking at about the author part of it. How I'm going to name myself. How I want to be acknowledged. What I want to be on the cover. What I want to say. And I've got a lot of superlatives that I've attached to myself over the years. I'm remembering Brother Ishmael, who is one of the deepest, most mystical beings I've ever even heard of, let alone met. And he had an expression, and Malcolm X had the same thing. Whenever you would introduce Malcolm, they want to put all kinds of superlatives on Malcolm X, and he'd always say, make it plain. Brother Ishmael, he's like, Reverend, Doctor, blah, blah. He says, make it plain. Just Brother Ishmael. I like living oracle and most high messenger. I don't usually say that out loud because, see, he's laughing. That's why. It's because of you, Ron. And people like Ron. Oh, he thinks he's pretentious. Oh, he thinks he's all that. Yes, I think I'm all that. Why shouldn't I? Why don't you? But recognizing that I'm here to cooperate with the universe. So, I think I'm just going to be Montero silly. And on the inside, I'll put down that I'm Reverend Muata, Senior Minister of San Francisco, blah, 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 because that's my title. I'm talking about this because I'm talking about identification. When they ask who sent you, what are you going to say? When they ask who you are, what is the story you will tell? I'm clear, I'm convinced, and I surrender to the reality that I am one with the infinite indwelling and self-existent God. That is my true identity. I show up in a lot of ways, in a lot of roles. But who am I? I am one with the infinite indwelling and self-existent God. A living, breathing, walking, talking representation of the one. and all I think and all I say and all I do and all I behold. This is the consciousness we want to bring into our time of sharing. Because as I noted on the way here, as the windows of heaven poured forth the blessing of rain, flooding some places, saturating others, I know that that's a blessing. To people who hurt me the most, I know that they blessed me with the opportunity to go deeper than my pain. If they hadn't hurt me so deeply, I couldn't have gone so deep to forgive and get out of that place. As we approach our time of sharing, we're breaking out of the cultural idea of lack and limitation, that there's not enough. Recognizing that the universe has always been here. This is not a shame or a blame or an admonition for guilt. This is an opportunity to come into the awareness that I am continually supported by the universe. And I continue to be supported by the universe. And I'm living from the overflow of that support. Living from the overflow. Here's a prosperity affirmation we do at this time. Please repeat after me. From a consciousness of abundance. And centered in gratitude. I generously give. I generously give. I accept. That's right. I accept the laws of circulation. As I demonstrate. Thank you. Wow. See, I needed help there. I had one of those senior moments. And I would be embarrassed. Oh, he don't even know how to say the money prayer. You know, but I'm letting myself be. Thank you for the help. Teacher's pet. Showed up again. That's what I get for messing with you, huh? That'll learn you. Okay. From a consciousness of abundance.
From a consciousness of abundance.
And centered in gratitude.
And centered in gratitude.
I generously give.
I generously give.
I accept the gifts.
I accept the gifts
of prosperity and abundance.
Of prosperity and abundance.
As I demonstrate divine circulation in my life.
As I demonstrate divine circulation in my life.
In gratitude I freely give. In grateful acceptance I freely receive. So it is. Thank you.
I got you back on track. That's that
Indeed.
one part.
And the giving online is, John?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. If you're giving online, the address for the center is give@sfcsl.org. give@sfcsl.org, and that's for PayPal and Zelle.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Indeed.
I am remembering.
Dr. Jeff will be coming around with a basket for those who want to contribute.
Thank you. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. And so it is.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So, giving thanks and praise for the offering received, recognize it as given from that consciousness of abundance, where each of us knows that the divine is flowing in us and through us and as us, manifesting that which we need even before we know we need it. We say yes to this idea and allow it to flow, living from that overflow we give from the overflow. We know that we are blessed in kind, that we bless all beings everywhere. And all is well this day and every day. And so it is.
And so it is. And now, treatment. Thanks, Lena. Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
There should be a...
Lena Chavez Soya will come forward with the spiritual mind treatment.
Are you wired, Lena?
She
Are you?
is now.
Thank you. I think so, because water has one.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Can you hear me? So I'll invite you all to take a nice deep breath. Just get centered, even more so than you already are. I'm so grateful to enter this prayer anchored in love, knowing that there is no spot Spirit is not. It is right here and right now, in and through and around and as me and each and every one of us. And as I speak in first person, please know that it is for all of us, because we are all connected. We are all one. This eternal giving nature flows in each raindrop, in every grain of sand, in every heartbeat, in every music note, in every green of every tree, in the love that we feel and that we share. And in this truth, I know that this service was well received, that we keep the message in our hearts as we move through our days, remembering the stillness within that we can always tap into. It is always available, every moment of every day, holding us and reminding us and comforting us as we walk forward in our lives with grace, with ease, knowing all of our needs are infinitely and abundantly met. Staying anchored in love each step of the way. May all beings feel nourished and loved. May peace and justice continue to prevail on earth, knowing that it begins right here and right now by the way that we choose to walk our path. And with deep and abiding gratitude, I let it be, knowing that it is true, and so it is. And
So it
now
is.
it is.
Now it is.
Blessed be. So we have some announcements. And Daniel, your boxing is Tuesday mornings at 8, and then every Saturday at noon.
It changed now. Huh?
It changed, yeah.
Well,
So,
the e-news still says Wednesday, I think, but oh well. Thanks for the update.
yeah, so boxing on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. here at the center for all ages, all levels, and Saturday at noon. Saturday is at noon.
Do you want to say something to people that might not know what that is? Because it's more than boxing, right? It's like fitness or...
Boxing for
Yeah.
fitness.
Yeah, it's a class for exercise and
Yeah.
movement.
Class for exercise and movement.
Yeah, for getting comfortable with expressing your own personality through boxing. It's just a form that we use. No one's hitting each other yet. If you want to bring someone to punch on, that's fine too.
Yes.
But we partner up. We use our hands to execute certain drills, and there's a little fitness in there too sometimes for some conditioning. I'll bring some equipment every now and then to just get our bodies moving and to wake ourselves up to our relationship with our physical person.
And it's here at the center.
Here in the center. Move all the chairs out of the way. We have a good time. Ron likes to come, and he's been feeling real good lately. I enjoy quite a bit.
Nice.
Jean was hanging out for a while until she retired other people, and then she said she was too powerful. This sincerely is a mixed group of folks, all kinds of experience, different ages.
Your pregnant wife comes.
Our pregnant wife shows up, and she gets her frustrations out on me. It's a good time.
Thank you.
Tuesdays at 8, Saturdays at noon.
And we also have visioning the first Wednesdays of each month here at the center, and we're doing a hybrid for Zoom as well, and that's posted on the newsletter and on our Facebook, I believe. And so what we're doing is getting together as a spiritual community in consciousness and visioning for our highest good and what spirit or God, universe, whatever you want to call it, highest good is for us and for this center. So gathering in spiritual community to do that feels really nice because it's an opportunity to show up and be still with others in that meditation space. And we also need some extra hands after fellowship potluck today, please, to help clean up. Definitely need cleanup. And is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Oh, I know, burning bowl next Sunday.
Yes, thank you.
Which is a ritual we do in the beginning of the year. Each year we will have a flash paper, which is paper when you burn it, it disappears. So you write down what you would like to release, and then you write yourself a letter, which will be mailed to you next year or at the end of this year of how you want 2026 to be. So you write a letter to yourself. And it's a beautiful time of community, a nice ritual to join together. And that's called Burning Bowl, and it will be this next Sunday. And did you have something, Tanya?
There's some new people here about the potluck.
Yes, and welcome to the new people. There's several new faces here. Welcome today. We have a potluck, so please feel free to stay. It's the first Sunday of every month. Everybody brings something. And also, there's an opportunity to serve with the potluck as well. You can sign up with myself or Nikki, letting us know if you'd like to help. It's basically just putting the food that everybody brings together, like on the plate, and getting it all out on the table. So we need help and volunteers with that too, as well as the cleanup. And there's gardening opportunities and cleaning in the center opportunities. So if you want to be of service in that way, you can let myself or Pierangeli or Nikki know. And I think that's all for now.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Little ukulele. So we let the love, we let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. One more time. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Nice, thank you. A little Hawaiian culture in there. It sits in the bookstore. I think it might have been Faith or someone brought it in, but it's what's that? Well, it sits in the bookstore. I thought I'd bring it out for the new year and give it a little. Yeah.
Give it a spin.
It's been a spin. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, each and every one. So grateful that you chose this as your first Sunday of the year experience. So grateful that you're curious enough to keep your mind open to the idea and the realization that the oneness of God is flowing in you and through you and as you, right where you are and just as you are. That right where you are and just you are a walking, talking, living, breathing miracle, an expression of the divine in all you think and all you say and all you do. And that the peace that the planet so desperately is open to right now is occurring within you right now. And that the peace that each of us acquires and generates is that sustained peace that the planet enjoys. So grateful to be a part of this movement, this identity, and this consciousness, and this center. As we leave here today, we leave here divinely inspired by this reality. Completely moved and surrendered to this realization. So much so that, please repeat after me, the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me.
The love of God enfolds me.
The power of God protects and watches over me.
The power of God protects and watches over me.
The wisdom of God guides and directs me.
The wisdom of God guides and directs me.
The substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains me.
The substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains me.
Wherever I am,
Wherever I am,
wherever I go,
wherever I go,
whatever I think, do, or say,
whatever I think, do, or say,
God is,
God is,
and all is well.
and all is well.
And so it is. Thank you. God bless us.
Let's gather in a big circle, I think, and sing, I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his way. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his way. I am the place where God shows up, and you are. The place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his way. Where God shows